Hello, this is my second weekly update of 2024, and so far so good. It's going very well. I am back to work full schedule this week, so everything was a little bit more challenging with that going on. But that said, carnivore all week, not a problem, quite easy. Less than 10 total carbs. I did actually have a little hiccup yesterday. I didn't realize that the ham that I ate had a few carbs in it, so we had 14 carbs. Not a big deal, nothing that I would lose sleep over, but certainly pay attention to it. And then fasting on Mondays is going extremely well. That has really surprised me. And what I've done for that is just Sunday night I have my regular meal at the regular meal time. Now this Sunday, the regular meal time is whenever we get around to it, depending on our schedule and whether I'm hungry. And the schedule Sunday, actually, I was working on cooking that beef heart. And I knew the beef heart wouldn't be done in time for us to have dinner, so I made some crab legs. I think I mentioned, in the process of emptying our freezer to prepare for the quarter cow that we're getting here in a few weeks. And there's 4 more boxes of crab legs in the freezer. I bought them on sale a while back. We're not crazy about them. They take too much work. But then Monday, I wasn't hungry at all, so it was great. I did have a couple of thoughts of pizza, which surprised me because I haven't really thought about pizza since August. It's been a very long time. And it wasn't like a craving. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go get some. It was not a craving. It just was a thought. And I took note of it because it was an odd thought. And because that's one of the concerns I had about fasting is that I might have weird thoughts about food that I haven't had in a long time. So it came and it went. I may actually make a carnivore pizza this week. Different cheeses and some sausage and pepperoni. It certainly can be done. So we'll see. That might happen. But anyway, so Monday I did fast all day. It was fine. Tuesday, my normal daily schedule, I get up, I'm out of the house at 6 in the morning or a little before on the colder days to warm that bus up. And then I will normally eat around noon is when I'm hungry again. And then I don't really have opportunity to eat again until 5 when I get back home from that afternoon route. So Tuesday, I expected to come home from my morning route at 10 o'clock or so and have some eggs, and I wasn't hungry. And I didn't eat Tuesday till 5 o'clock. I didn't really get hungry until about 4 o'clock, and I was driving a bus at the time, so I couldn't do anything about it. But I did come home, and we had a nice dinner then. Tuesday night we ate that beef heart. So I will show you that. I actually am putting together a video of how we did cook it, how that did work out. It was kind of interesting, and I have some different things that I want to try next time, but it really was pretty good. We kind of liked it. I don't know that I would go out of my way to get a beef heart, but I'm not afraid of one. I'm actually looking forward to the next one. So that was Monday. So that fasting actually went from 7 o'clock Sunday night until 5 o'clock Tuesday night. And I could have pushed it longer, but we're not pushing it. We're not pushing it right now. We're just sticking with the Mondays for January. The other project was the Big Rocks Wins, and like I said, that's a little more effort than I thought, but I am getting into a rhythm of that. I'm not ahead at all. I am keeping up. Everything is so far been loaded every day when I wanted it to be loaded, so that is working well. And then, of course, my weekly updates, I'm not ahead on those either, as I would like to be a little more prepared before Friday rolls around. And in fact, next week I will be. Next week we're going to talk about insulin resistance because that's very important, and that's something that I want to share with you when I learned about that. That's really been helpful to me. So, weight loss. I did have weight loss. I wanted to share with you my weight loss graphs this week. I never know how it's going to go from day to day, week to week. I do weigh every day, and the reason I weigh every day is I like to see, that's my dog if you can hear him, playing with his Kong, which I filled with lard so that he would be happy and quiet while I'm talking to you. Um, anyway, I did lose 3 pounds last week. I weigh every day because I like to see the trends. And the reason that I wanted to share the graphs with you was to show you what my trend lines look like. So this is what last week looked like with my 3 pounds. I started at 197 and stayed at 197 most of the week. Dipped down to 195 just a couple of days ago, and this morning I got up, was 194, which just still is pretty wild to me when you think about that I started at 272. So the last 3 months, this is what the trend line looked like for the last 3 months. I've lost 16 pounds in 3 months, which doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot, but I'm very pleased with it. And I labeled a couple of these points on the graphs for you so that you could see, that I started 3 months ago at 210. And then it bounced up and bounced down. And what I have found is my weight normally travels about a 3-pound weight range. It'll travel that for a few weeks and then suddenly drop a pound, and you'll see, where I have this 205 to 201. See how it drops, and then it goes back up for a couple of days, drops for a couple of days, goes back up for a couple of days. So I don't worry about that. What I'm looking at is that trend line. I don't worry about that at all. And then you do see toward the end of that 3-month period where we went from 199, zip, right back up to 205. That might be concerning if I didn't know why that happened. But this is just a graph that shows those ranges, the 3-pound weight range. And it was kind of funny as I drew these lines, I realized that's about a month. And that's 3 months worth right there. And it's about a month. The 210 to 207 took a month. 205, actually ended right about 205 also. That was about a month before it dipped down to that 199 in December and then shoot right back up to 205. And again, I wasn't worried about that because that was Christmas week. And Christmas week, my children came into town. It was a wonderful time. I did make a few treats that actually I haven't made in a while. I haven't trusted myself with those treats in a while. So I did make a few treats and I did enjoy them. I have lost 79 pounds. I've eliminated all of my prescription medications. I'm healthier than I've been in 30 years. And I did just want to highlight a couple of YouTubers, YouTube channels that I stumbled across a few years ago that really helped me to get started and helped me to continue on the path. And one is Ken Berry. He's been actually the most helpful. He's a family physician from Tennessee, and he explains things in a way that a non-medical person can understand. He also interviews a lot of other doctors on his channel. And has introduced me to different books and different resources and things that have been very helpful. So I'm linking one of his videos where he's talking about what is a ketogenic diet. But really, before I even got moving too much on this, I probably watched most of everything on his channel. He also does a Monday Night Live, which is kind of interesting. People call in and ask the doctor a question. That's on his YouTube channel also. And I just learn a lot from those, just from listening to those. Another one is Kelly Hogan, and her YouTube channel is My Zero Carb Life. She's actually been a carnivore for 12 years. She lost 100 pounds and has maintained that weight loss, and now she helps others, not just with carnivore, but also with keto. And I've linked a video of hers where she talks about how to start lowering your carbs. Not everybody is ready to jump into carnivore, and I know I sure wasn't. That was something I did not believe that I could do. I probably could not have done 2 or 3 years ago. So she talks about how to just ease into lowering your carbs to begin with. So I'll link that video for you also. And next week, I am putting together some information about insulin resistance. It's been so important to me, and I didn't really start to look into what it was until I realized that mine had been on a healing path, and that actually was helping me a lot. I felt it in my body, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was the insulin I've heard these people talk about. I didn't understand it. Then I started to look into really what it is. So I want to share that with you, what insulin resistance is, why we should care about it, how you can tell if you have it, and what you can do about it. And also I'll link resources that I used that helped me to learn more about that. So that's what we will do next week, and I will see you then.